Well, I am absolutely amazed by this. I mean, this shameless objectification of men, these poor men. Where are all the outraged feminists? Where are they? Normally you can't move for them. I can't find any of them at the moment. They must have inconsistent principles. Thankfully, most men, me included, aren't offended by this. And I think the reason for that is that we have a sense of humour about these things. And we can see it for what it is, just the frivolity around human nature, human sexuality, and thankfully, that's a good thing. I think a lot of young women could learn from that. I think, you know, if they could just relax their mindset,
right,
they would be able to, you know, to just see the fun in this and appreciate that not every expression of attraction needs to be greeted with outrage.
Vix clearly has a sense of humour. She's a comedian, after all. Is it a sense of humour failure here on? Or you know, that women aren't sticking up for these men saying stop objectifying them?
No, I don't think so. I think, you know, it is a bit fun. I do appreciate that. And however, I do feel that if the situation was reversed, the comments on Facebook and on social media might not be so light-hearted if it was coming from the opposite members of the sex.
Would they not be light-hearted, or would they not be perceived as being light-hearted?
Exactly.
Possibly, I do take that on board. However, you know, being a female myself on social media and seeing things that go viral about females and then seeing the horrific comments these women have to deal with, I have trawled through the Facebook comments on this post here, and there hasn't been anything of the same sort.
There are hundreds of thousands. It's quite hard to see them all.
I would disagree with that. I mean, you know, I am really not offended by this. I think it's quite funny, but some of the comments, if I didn't have a sense of humour, I could be really offended by, you know, it's all about ambushing these guys and forcing themselves on them. You know, if the genders were reversed, I do think there would be a severe sense of humour failure.
In which case, I wonder if it's because they're quite, you know, they look quite strong, you know, muscular policemen, that the idea is that they could perhaps look after themselves. If they were not, and if they were women, then, you know, some strong men could, you know, say some pretty horrible things. Maybe that's the reason why. What do you think?
Possibly. I think objectification is objectification to whichever sex it is. You know, it's not right. And, you know, there are some of those comments that when you read them, you're a bit like, oh, you know, and luckily, like we said, we can take them in the right way. But there will be people that won't take it in the wrong way. Possibly one of the wives of one of the husbands, apparently they're taken, and they might have not appreciated those comments. But, yeah.
Are they actually that hot?
Well,
over to you.
I'm going to say the middle one, yeah, sure. I think the guy on the left has had a bit of a short shrift. He's like ultimate wingman in this photo.
Well, we don't know what he looks like normally.
Yeah, he's obviously, and obviously attractiveness is objective to whomever.
I guess the final thing is that clearly there's something about uniforms here. Maybe that's the real issue we're not debating.
I agree, and I think, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I want to see the hot policewomen of Florida. Ladies, get your selfies out for the lads.
Maybe we can get some of those, and you know, you could comment on them. Then what would happen?
If I can do it again?
No, thank you. I'm sure they'd be gorgeous, but yeah, I'd leave that to you.
Or maybe even objectification of people. I mean, it's always happened. Should we be so sort of, you know, buttoned up about it?
I think that when you see the comments, that I've seen some great ones like 911, what's your emergency? Oh, my loins are burning. You know, hilarious, funny. But the comments where it is, you know, I'm going to jump them, I'm going to do this to them, ones that have that sort of threatening undertone, whichever sex it is, it's just not funny and it's just a bit creepy.
But you know, Sex and the City made several series out of that kind of thing, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And
not that exact, you know, length.
Okay, not quite exact.
Yeah,
not
but,
that,
you know,
that obvious.
Poking fun, sure. And, you know, like I said, those kind of comments about, you know, put me in the Witness Protection Act, you can take those as light-hearted, but I feel that anything with a threatening undertone takes it slightly too far.
Look, they are going to do a calendar after all, so maybe someone's sown the seed of an idea.
I'm on the waiting list.
You're on the waiting list? You're going to buy it?
No.
No, you're not. I don't think you were. Look, not even if they put kittens in it and puppies? No, OK. No. We won't go down that route. But at least some good might come out of this, that it's going to benefit the victims of Hurricane Irma, which is, after all, what they were talking about in the first place, Peter.
Yeah, exactly. And just think how much more money could be raised if these miserable millennials didn't stifle male heterosexuality.
OK, and on that note, we will leave it right there.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.